Welcome to this week's edition of Sidelines. I'm Jimmy Johnson. It's championship season and we're jam-packed with championship coverage this week. We'll preview the upcoming weekend's Patriot League women's soccer and field hockey tournaments, and we'll chat with Colgate's record-setting running back Nate Eachus. But first we have to talk about the Colgate women's cross-country team. Picked to finish fourth in the preseason poll, the Raiders ran strong all season and capped it on Saturday with the program's first Patriot League championship. On the men's side, it was all business as usual for the Navy midshipmen. Here's the championship recap.
1, 2, 3. Andrew Hanko is a blonde German. He's the biggest, you know he is the leanest. Andrew Hanko is the Patriot League champ!
There were smiles, cheers, and yes, there was even singing as the Navy men's cross-country team won its third straight Patriot League title Saturday at Lafayette. Led by Andrew Hanko, who won his second straight individual title, the Mids scored 43 points to take the top spot. Rookie of the meet Clay Elward was one of 9 midshipmen to finish in the top 18 of the race, and 42nd-year Navy coach Al Cantello was named the Coach of the Year. Hanko finished in 24-22, which ranks third on the league's all-time performance list. American finished second, placing 3 runners in the top 5, Craig Brown, Colin Eustace, and Jeff Brannigan, and Army was third, led by Bryce Livingston. Colgate finished fourth and Lehigh was fifth, despite having Evans Koske earn his second straight runner-up performance. Bucknell, Holy Cross, and Lafayette rounded out the race. It was a new champion on the women's side as the Colgate Raiders blew away the field, placing 5 runners in the top 17. Elise Daru won her second straight individual title with a time of 19:17, and teammate Chelsea Burns finished as the runner-up in a time of 20:07. 12th-year coach Laura Nardelli was named the Coach of the Year for the first time in her career. Army, which placed third, boasted the Rookie of the meet in Elizabeth O'Donnell, who placed 15th. Bucknell was the runner-up, and Navy was fourth, led by Jess Palacio's third-place finish. Holy Cross, American, Lehigh, and Lafayette followed. American's Octavia Reinhardt finished fourth, and Holy Cross's Paige Sutherland rounded out the top 5. Both the men and women's teams will gear up for the NCAA Regionals on November 13th. On behalf of the Patriot League, I'd like to congratulate the 2010 cross-country champions and wish them luck at the NCAA events. Another congratulations has to go out to Colgate running back Nate Eachus, who set the Patriot League single-game rushing record this season. He's been the league's top back, and he met up with the Patriot League the night before his game against Lehigh to talk football. Here's the story.
Nate Eachus is only 5'10", but Colgate's junior back has been a huge part of the Raiders' offense the last 3 seasons. Eachus, who hails from Hazleton, Pennsylvania, has rushed for 1,295 yards in 8 games this season. His high point came in the program's 600th win when he ran for a Patriot League record 291 yards on October 16th.
It meant a lot because, the guy who had it at Colgate was Jamal Branch, and he was in the NFL, and he just a great running back in 2003, and to get the Patriot League record as well is just a pretty cool accomplishment. So I'm excited to have it, and but most importantly, I want to win as a team. So I just keep winning. That's about it.
The Raiders weren't able to keep winning last weekend, falling to the league's last undefeated Lehigh. Still, with Eachus, the Raiders are never out of the race. He's put up 3,147 yards and 40 touchdowns in 3 years, something he never could have imagined in high school.
Not really. I'm having a successful season. Most importantly, trying to stay healthy, and that's what I'm healthy this year, which is important. And we have a couple more games left in the season, and we want to try and win out, and just trying to go to the playoffs and win the Patriot League championship.
His success hasn't been a surprise to his family, friends, and fans back in Hazleton, where he led his high school team to 3 straight PIAA Quad A state championship games. The hype at home hasn't died down either since he has left for Hamilton, New York. He's still a Sunday morning read in the local paper after every game.
The support back home has been awesome. Every time I go home, everyone's always saying how great I'm doing at school. And I have a lot of support. There's always things in the paper about me that my parents are sending me through emails, showing me articles in the paper. So I'm really happy with the support that I have at home.
And that support will continue as the junior has several games left in his collegiate career to set more rushing records.
After an exciting weekend at the cross-country championships, the league gears up for one of its busier weekends. Both the women's soccer and field hockey tournaments will kick off this Friday. Army will host the Patriot League women's soccer tournament for the first time since 2002, and the Black Knights will look to duplicate what they did in 2008, claiming the title with a dramatic 1-0 double overtime win over Navy. The top-seeded Black Knights will open the tournament at 4 p.m. Friday against 4th-seeded Colgate. Awaiting the winner of that match will be the team that emerges out of the Bucknell-Lehigh semifinal, which kicks off at 7:30 p.m. The league final will be at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Here's a closer look at each team. Army is 13-3-3 this season and finished as the only team not to lose a league match, going 4-0-3. The Knights, who are riding an 8-game unbeaten streak, own the league's top defense with an 0.26 goals allowed per game. The next closest was Lafayette at 0.9 goals against, a team that did not qualify for the tournament. Goalkeeper Alex Losetter has played a big role in keeping opponents off the board, making 40 saves and allowing just 3 goals for a league-best .930 save percentage. She also leads the league with 10 of Army's 15 shutouts. Rookie of the Year Kim On leads the league with 20 points and 9 goals. She has booted 4 game winners for the Black Knights, who will look to win their second league title. Army will host the 4th-seeded Colgate Raiders in the semifinal, a rematch of the regular season game that ended in a 0-0 double overtime draw. Colgate, the defending champs, finished the season 3-3-1 in the Patriot League, but just 6-11-1 overall after a tough non-conference schedule that included 2 ranked teams. Colgate has struggled defensively, allowing 1.72 goals per game, ranked 5th in the league. All-league selection Alicia Mnuchin has made up for the struggles on defense with her team-best 4 goals and 5 assists. She has tallied 3 game-winning goals. The second-seeded Bison enter the tournament after earning a share of the regular season title with Army. At 5-2-0, Bucknell has won 6 of its last 8 games, scoring at least 1 goal in every game. That came after the Bison scored just 2 goals in a 7-game non-league stretch in September. But against league teams, Bucknell is averaging a league-best 1.71 goals per game, led by all league selections Kellyanne Doherty and Caitlin Holtz, who tied for the league lead with 9 points. Krista Matlack, the Offensive Player of the Year, is right behind them with 8 points. The Bison will be fighting for their first title since 2005 and 3rd overall. Lehigh, the 3rd seed, at 4-1-2 and 9-4-4 overall, hasn't had any trouble scoring goals all season. The Mountain Hawks, who are in search of their first league title, averaged a league-best 1.94 goals per game and trailed Bucknell in league play with 1.57 per game. Still, Lehigh bested Bucknell when it counted in the Hawks' 2-1 win over the Bison on October 10th. Lehigh has been led by all-league selections Liz Carlos and Glenn Fitzer, who tied for the league lead with 14 points. Carlos had 6 goals and 2 assists, while Fitzer posted 4 goals and a league-best 6 assists. For the 6th straight season, the Patriot League Field Hockey Tournament will be hosted by the American Eagles. Ranked number 9 in the nation, the Eagles will look to make it 8 straight Patriot League championships this weekend. The number 1 seeded Eagles will open the tournament at 11:30 a.m. on Friday with a contest against the 4th seeded Colgate Raiders. 3rd seeded Bucknell and 2nd seeded Lafayette will play in the other semifinal at 1:45 p.m. The final will face off at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. Here's a closer look at each tournament team. The Eagles enter the tournament as a clear favorite after finishing the regular season at 5-0 in the league and 15-3 overall. American has been led by Christine Fingerhuth, who won her 2nd straight Offensive Player of the Year award this season after scoring 15 goals and 32 points. 8 of her goals came in American's 5 league games. She has helped the Eagles average 3.4 goals per game and win by an average margin of 2.4, both league best marks. American allowed just 2 goals in league play. Defender Gina Hoffman played a key role in that while scoring 24 points on 7 goals and 10 assists. Keeper Hannah Weitzman led the league in goals against with an 0.91 average and 5 shutouts. If anyone can stop the Eagles, it would be the Lafayette Leopards. They're the only team in the league to have beaten American in the last 8 seasons. But before the Leopards can think about the Eagles, they'll have to get past the Bison. To do that, they'll have to rely on Defensive Player of the Year Megan Cheeky, who had 13 goals and 29 points. She, combined by the efforts of senior keeper Kelsey Anderson, kept the opponents to an average of 1 goal per game in league play. Deanna DeCroce tied for the league lead in points with 32, posting 9 goals and a league-high 14 assists. 3rd seeded Bucknell, which reached the tournament final in 2008, is back in the playoffs for the 3rd straight season. The Bison rode the offense of Kelly Bruvik, who scored 9 goals and 5 assists this season. Rookie of the Year Rachel Misko pitched in a big way, scoring 6 goals and 13 points in her first season. Keeper Sarah Zagapur ranked second in the league in shutouts with 4, while posting a 2.32 goals against average. Colgate returns to the playoffs after finishing last in 2009, and Goalkeeper of the Year Kirsten Lally played a big role in getting the Raiders back in. She was second in the country with 166 saves and led the nation with 10.38 saves per contest. Offensively, the Raiders were led by Laura Denenga, who had 9 goals and 3 assists. Kendall Zaharis helped on offense with 7 assists. You can follow both championships here on Patriot League All Access. Log on to patriotleague.com to find out more details and how you can purchase your subscription to watch this weekend. You can also keep track of the tournament through Facebook and Twitter, where you'll also find updates from all around the Patriot League. And of course, if you miss any championship action, you can join us here on next week's edition of Sidelines for a complete recap. Thank you for logging on to All Access, and we'll see you again next week.